This certainly is a very special occasion. In fact, I'm a little over my head here tonight. Tonight's inductees span over 100 years. In golfing terms, that's from hickory to titanium, from the feathery to Balata. We'll be recognizing 7 ladies and gentlemen whose contribution, quite simply, has made golf a better game. Tonight's inductees cover all aspects of the game: administration, coaching, playing as professionals and as amateur golfers, golf course design and construction. South Africa has a proud history in the game of golf. We produced great champions, from Bobby Locke in the 30s, 40s and 50s, Gary Player in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s and 2000s. Sally Little, Nick Price, Ernie Els, Retief Goosen, and now our young stars Louis Oosthuizen and Charles Schwartzel. Our playing fields are equal or better than anywhere in the world. We have variety of links golf courses, parkland courses, and even desert type courses that are all generally in superb condition. We have some of the finest golf instructors, Phil Ritson and David Ledbetter, both already members of the Hall of Fame. We stage world-class golf tournaments that are watched by millions of people all over the world. Our golf administrators have been excellent and constantly free of controversy. The South African Golf Magazine, which is one of the longest running publications until it closed down in the 80s and then was replaced by Complete Golfer and Golf Digest, who are both equally good and of world standard. We were the first country to have $1 million golf event and the first country to offer $1 million as a first prize. We were the first to have a consumer golf show. We're able to watch more golf on television than anywhere else in the world. And the men and women that we're honoring tonight built the foundation for golf as we know it. Golf is more than a game, it's a way of life.
George Fotheringham. He was a golfer who appeared, not South African born, but he appeared on the scene in South Africa shortly after the turn of the previous century, around about 1904 or 5. And he was a golfer of very considerable skill. And he became the superstar of golf in South Africa in the years preceding the First World War. And I certainly have very great pleasure in nominating and inducting George Fotheringham into the Southern African Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Mr. Charles Kingsley could most probably have been seen as being the father of the South African Golf Union, then became the Golf Federation, and eventually the South African Golf Association. Charles Kingsley is remembered for the enormous contribution he made to the administration of golf in South Africa over a period of almost 50 years. He had a particular interest in the history of the game and was one of the first to recognize and promote the concept of a golf museum in South Africa. Thank you.
He won the South African Amateur in 1961 when he beat John Hayes, elder brother of Dale, in the final at East London. This is not in chronological order, it's in kind of importance order. He was also runner-up in the SA Open, also at East London, funnily enough, when Reg Taylor won the Open in 1954. Jannie was the runner-up. He won the Freddie Tate Trophy for the leading amateur in the Open twice, 1957, 1960. He won the Transvaal Amateur 3 times, 1955, 56 and 59. He won the Natal Amateur twice in 1961 and 62. He won the Cape Province Open Amateur in 1953 and 57, and the Western Province Amateur in 52 and 57, and was also runner-up in 53 and 56. It's a great honor and a privilege for me to induct him, and thank you very much for listening.
I had the privilege of being nurtured by Cox Hlapo himself. When I was 18 years, he used to come at home and collect me. He said, "You got a potential, leave boxing and judo and come, let's join golf." Ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure today to welcome the daughter of Bra Cox, as we call him, Lerato Matiba. Thank you.
I used to help him out, fixing those cars, hoping that I'll get a tip or something. Unfortunately, my tip was to go with him to the greens the following day. Sometimes it was hard, eh? You know, in those dusty places of Soweto. Back then in the 80s, we didn't have electricity because we were the poor of the poor, or the poorest of them all. He was a soccer legend, tennis player, golf mechanic, and teaching as well. But golf was his first love, and my mother was second.
She comes from Durban, Natal, and she was in the top 3 in 1969 golfers in this country. But she won, I think, the South African amateur 3 or 4 times. She's won the Natal match play 6 or 7 or 8 times. Sportsman of the Year of Natal in 69. And Jeanette, people like you, for youth, you've done it for us, and I'm proud to induct you here tonight. Please come on up. She used to scare the living daylights out of me, but not anymore. I'm taller than you are now.
Yeah, you are.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am genuinely thrilled and privileged to have been asked to pay tribute, particularly to this individual. He had a wonderful playing career, 23 victories internationally, and he was second 30 times. At the peak of his career, he was ranked number 15 in the world. That's pretty special. He won the Australian Masters in 1964, going head-to-head with Jack Nicklaus over the last 2 rounds. He won the British Masters twice, in 1964 and 69, and I'm delighted that he won the Pringle of Scotland tournament in 1965. He won the Western Province Open, the Natal Open, the Transvaal Open, and a whole host of tournaments, 30 seconds and 23 tournament wins. And as I say, world number 15, that's a pretty special record. A quite remarkable story of continued achievement, not just as a player, but as someone who has always given back to this great game that we all love here in South Africa. He's a very worthy inductee to the Southern Africa Golf Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kobie LaGrange.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man made golf look elegant. He made golf look pretty. He was incredibly talented. He has a genuine niceness about him that I don't think we'll ever see again, and I've never seen before. He had an incredible passion for the game of golf. And most of all, with anybody that's had a career that's lasted from the early 60s until the 2000s, he has a wonderful joy of trying. He loves to play golf. He loves to compete more than I think anybody I've ever met. All I can finish off by saying it's been an absolute privilege to be a professional golfer alongside Hugh Baiocchi.
In today's lingo vernacular, I'd like to say that I'm absolutely stoked and completely blown away that I'm a member of the Southern African Great Golf Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.
To BMW, thanks so much for coming on board as our title sponsor. You know, we've struggled for a long time for people to buy into this concept. It's not hard to buy into it. It's got so many positives, but I suppose the economy since 2008 has been very poor, and people waiting to see whether the museum could really be built. So to BMW, thank you very, very much. Once again, Polo, fantastic sponsor, came on board. Those of you who played this morning, you'll know all the prizes. They're a fantastic support of ours. To the David Frost wines, to Ernie Els wines, to Pederberg Winery. Really, thank you so much. It's your support means a lot to us. To Karl Kloof Spa, Sabi, once again, great auction prizes. And there are just so many sponsors who came aboard. I'm sorry I can't mention everybody. Castle Light, of course. But I really appreciate it. I think we all do. And your support helps to make this evening such an enjoyable evening. Of course, to Dale, what can I say? We missed you last year. And I'd finally like to thank the BMW Events Management team under Pat Park, who gave me such support today. Gave me a lot of grief as well, but thank you so much. And to my team, to Helen, to Cheryl, to Christine, thank you very, very much. To all of you, thanks for coming, and tea and coffee.